The story of CECOT prison, El Salvador's controversial megaprison. In February 2023, the government of El Salvador, led by President Nayib Bukele, inaugurated the Center for the Confinement of Terrorism, CECOT, a massive high-security prison designed to house the country's most dangerous criminals. The facility, capable of holding 40,000 inmates, was constructed as part of Bukele's war on gangs, particularly the notorious MS-13 and Barrio 18. This prison became a focal point of his administration's iron-fisted approach to eradicating organized crime. For decades, El Salvador was plagued by gang violence, making it one of the most dangerous countries in the world. The rampant extortion, murders, and organized crime caused social and economic instability. Families lived in fear, businesses suffered under heavy extortion demands, and entire communities were controlled by gang leaders. In response, Bukele's government launched an unprecedented crackdown on gang activity, promising to restore peace and security. Bukele's government implemented a state of emergency in March 2022, suspending certain constitutional rights to allow mass arrests. Security forces conducted sweeping operations, detaining over 70,000 suspected gang members. These arrests led to severely overcrowded prisons, with detainees packed into cells originally designed for a fraction of their number. Recognizing the need for a new facility to house the growing prison population, the government fast-tracked the construction of CECOT. Built in just 7 months, CECOT is one of the largest and most advanced prisons in the world. The government claimed that it was a necessary step to curb gang violence and maintain national security. The prison was designed with cutting-edge technology, ensuring that inmates would be completely isolated from the outside world. The swift construction process reflected Bukele's urgency in delivering on his promise to rid the country of criminal elements. CECOT is located in Tecoluca, a rural area in the San Vicente department, about 75 kilometers from the capital, San Salvador. The remote location was chosen strategically to prevent escape attempts and minimize the risk of external interference. Surrounded by forests and rugged terrain, the facility is far from urban centers, making it difficult for prisoners to coordinate any external assistance for escape or retaliation. The prison spans 165 hectares and consists of 8 reinforced pavilions, high walls, and electric fences. The entrance is heavily fortified, requiring multiple security checks before access is granted. Watchtowers loom over the facility, with snipers constantly monitoring every movement. It is monitored by 600 guards and 250 military personnel, ensuring maximum security. Motion sensors, infrared cameras, and biometric access points further enhance surveillance. CECOT was built to house 40,000 inmates, a stark contrast to other Salvadoran prisons that were severely overcrowded. Each cell holds around 80 prisoners with only a few sleeping mats and a single toilet. There are no beds, no personal space, just concrete floors where prisoners sleep shoulder to shoulder. The lack of comfort serves as a psychological tool to break gang solidarity. In a dramatic display of power, Bukele's government transported thousands of gang members to CECOT in heavily guarded convoys. The chilling sight of tattooed, shirtless inmates, shackled at the wrists and ankles, marching in synchronized lines under armed watch, was captured in widely circulated videos. The footage was meant to send a message. Gang rule was over and a new era of discipline had begun. Reports suggest that inmates at CECOT are subjected to harsh conditions, with little access to natural light, extreme confinement, and minimal human rights considerations. The prison's design prioritizes punishment over rehabilitation. Meals are rationed strictly, and medical care is limited to emergencies. There are no visitations, no phone calls, only silence and submission. CECOT employs 24/7 surveillance with thousands of cameras and facial recognition technology. Prisoners are closely monitored, and any attempts at rebellion are swiftly quashed. The prison has solitary confinement cells, referred to as black boxes, where inmates who disobey orders are placed in complete darkness for extended periods. Bukele's government emphasized that CECOT would eliminate gang operations inside prisons. In the past, gangs controlled entire prison facilities, continuing their criminal activities from behind bars. Now, isolated and constantly watched, their communication lines have been cut off, weakening their influence outside prison walls. CECOT's opening drew mixed reactions worldwide. Some praised Bukele for taking decisive action, while others criticized the prison's conditions and potential human rights violations. International media and policymakers debated whether El Salvador had found an effective solution to gang violence, or if the country was teetering on the edge of authoritarian rule. Organizations like Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch expressed concerns over mass arrests, lack of due process, and reports of torture within CECOT. They argue that the prison is a symbol of authoritarianism rather than justice. The mass detainment of individuals, some of whom had no clear ties to gangs, raised ethical concerns about the price of security. Many Salvadorans, especially those who suffered under gang violence, support Bukele's measures. The country saw a dramatic reduction in crime rates, making neighborhoods safer. Parents could let their children play outside without fear, and businesses no longer had to pay rent to gang members for protection. Since the construction of CECOT and the mass arrests, El Salvador's murder rate dropped significantly. The government credits this success to its firm crackdown on gangs. Once ranked among the most dangerous nations in the world, El Salvador is now being hailed as a model for crime reduction. The military and police play a crucial role in maintaining order within CECOT. Armed patrols and rapid response teams are stationed around the facility to prevent riots and escape attempts. The cooperation between law enforcement and the government remains the backbone of Bukele's security strategy. Critics argue that CECOT lacks rehabilitation and reintegration programs, raising concerns about the long-term effectiveness of the government's strategy in reducing crime. Without a path to reintegration, many inmates may emerge from the prison even more hardened than before. Further sections will explore the impact of CECOT on gang culture, its economic burden on the country, its implications for democracy, and how El Salvador's security model could shape global approaches to crime. The psychological effects on inmates, legal ramifications, and potential policy shifts will also be analyzed in depth. CECOT remains a controversial yet significant development in El Salvador's criminal justice system. While its impact on crime reduction is undeniable, its long-term consequences on human rights and governance remain a subject of intense debate. The stark contrast between security and civil liberties will define the future discourse surrounding CECOT and its role in El Salvador's war on crime.